Hi and welcome back to Musing with Reba. Today we're not musing, we're DIYing. So last year, oh my gosh, I can't even believe a whole year has gone by. With the beginning of the pandemic, I need to fix that picture there. I decided to do some painting in my condo after the first strict restrictions had been lifted in May. Sorry for the lights. So I painted my dining room this lovely cranberry color, and I did this. This is my mummy at her formal, I think her senior year high school. So this frame used to be in it was a red color, and it was the same color as you can't really see with the glare, there we go. It used to be the same color as the curtains in the photo, so it kind of really looked kind of blah. So I painted the frame this silvery blue color to more match her gown, which I think is very, very pretty. Let me just zoom in on her there. Yeah, so that's Mummy. I'm not sure what year, I think 1963. That was still while we were under total lockdown. No stores were open, but I had some art paints that I was able to do that with. And then just around Christmas time this year, not last year, I framed this painting. My grandmother Weber did this painting. She was very, very talented. This is of Bath, England. She's originally from Bristol, so of course just not too far from Bath. And then this frame here had something else in it that I didn't really like, and it was just kind of a cheap Walmart print. So I put my grandmother's painting in there. And this one here, my auntie who lives next door gave me this, and both of my sisters one each, and that was a couple of Christmases ago. So anyway, I painted this cranberry last year, and I also did the walls, the other wall, this kind of nice gray. And I got these new curtains, which are kind of, they're not room darkening or anything like that, but they do block at least the glaring lights that are out in the parking lot there. You can probably see that. They're horrible. Here's another painting of my grandmother Weber's of I'm not sure which cathedral this is. If someone could tell me. I've only been to England once, so I'm not sure what cathedral this is. If anybody knows, please let me know. But that's watercolor. That was her favorite medium. That was another frame that had something else in it and that I didn't particularly like. So I just reframed that in there. These are some photos that I took a number of years ago in Nova Scotia. It's from the Bay of Fundy. So pretty down there. And another painting of my grandmother's that I framed from something else that I didn't particularly like. That was just a rough watercolor that she was doing, and it was in an art box that I had of hers, which I later gave to my cousin. So I have a project that I'm going to start in just a minute. I'll just show you around a little bit more. So I continued the bulkhead. I also painted this light fixture. It used to be completely white. Everything in here was totally white. And in the first 6 weeks of the pandemic, when we were locked down, the walls were closing in on me. So I had to, as soon as the paint store was open, I had to get paint. So I continued the cranberry from the walls across the bulkhead into the living room. It's just your typical apartment L-shape living room, dining room. And then painted the wall in here gray. Again, we're getting into the dark. I don't have any other light except for that lamp over there. So did all this gray. And then did the entry and the corridor in, this isn't going to show very well. It's called Patient Rose. It's a really nice kind of muted color. It's not pink. It's not beige. It's just really, it's really relaxing. And then this wall over here, which you can't really tell, is called Meditative Mauve, which I just really, really like. I also did my bedroom in this color. So I continued the pink, the Patient Rose all the way down the corridor. And I put up these, and let me see if I can get my zoom. Yeah. So this thing here was from my Aunt Jean. She died in 2018, the same year as my dog and my mom. But she had given this to my mom a few years earlier, and we had been using it as an ancestor shrine. So a few people have been added to it, Aunt Jean and my mom, since. And so this is kind of my ancestor shrine honoring area. So I've got some of them here. This is my mummy. When I think she was 5 in this photo. Isn't she cute? And then this is her, oops, she fell down. She did that a lot. This is the urn, just a small urn. I actually took this on her with me on a trip out west in 2019 because she had been supposed to go on that trip with me, but she died. So she came with me in the urn, and next year, fingers crossed, when I get to go to Ireland, I will take that with me. This is our ancestral home in Ireland. It is in Kingsmill in County Tyrone in Northern Ireland. And there's just a big chunk. Oh, shoot. I just dropped that. The handle fell off. So this rock is a piece of, I think it's actually a piece of one of the bricks from this building right here. My aunt and uncle and a bunch of cousins and a couple of other aunts went a few years ago and brought that back for us. And this is another, this is my mummy, her younger sister Judy, who is my sister cousin Jenny's mom, and then this is cousin Meg. They are all gone now. And then this here is Mom and Meg and Judy and baby Mary Jean, who was the littlest sister of my mother's. She died when she was 2 years old. She had a heart defect. And this is my great-great-grandparents, Bill and Ina. Now look at Ina. Does she remind you of anyone? It's really, really creepy. There's pictures of, you could put pictures of me and Ina next to each other and we look exactly alike. It's just so creepy. And I need to get a frame for this. This is my grandmother Weber. She died 4.5 years ago. And this one here was a Christmas tree decoration that my mom had that I put on here for all the dogs. And then this is the funeral card for Mary Jean from when she died when she was 2 back in 1956. She died. So I'm going to go and I'm going to check out that cemetery later. It's kind of on the other side of the city, and Mary Jean and my grandfather are there. And then this Buddha, I don't have a picture of Auntie Jean who gave us this whole shrine thing, but she was a huge fan of the Buddha. So I put him here in her honor. And then this is my grandmother, my mom's mom, Helen McReynolds, and my grandfather, Alexander Swan. He was a Canadian military policeman in World War II, and he was overseas for the entirety of the war. My grandmother and grandfather got married right before the war. My grandmother got pregnant with Aunt Sandra, and then Grandpa left, and he was gone for the entirety of the war. So he came home 6 years later and had a daughter here waiting for him. And here is a certificate from the Humane Association of Canada where my grandmother, Helen McReynolds, sorry for the glare, saved a woman's life from drowning in Lake Couchiching up in Orillia. My grandmother's family, the folks who came from County Tyrone in Ireland, they came to Ontario and they settled in Orillia first, and then everybody, I guess my grandfather, my great-grandpa Bill, which is Grandma's dad, he was the first one, I think, to come to Toronto. And my grandpa Swan, he was the first of his family to be born in Canada. But my grandma is a big damn hero because she saved someone's life, and my grandpa served several years in the Canadian military, Canadian Armed Forces as a military police. And then when he came home, he was OPP, Ontario Police. So this is the project that I'm going to start working on now. It is the doors for the broom cupboard that's in the hallway. I didn't have the right kind of paint to do it when I did everything else in the spring, and then the summertime came and we were allowed to, you know, go outside and kind of hang out with people still at a distance. So I never did get this done. But before this current lockdown, yes, several months later, I did go out and buy the paint so that I can do this. But first, I have to clean it. So let me get set up, and I'll bring you back in a couple of minutes. Okay, so first thing I need to do is remove these hinges off of these doors. So I'm going to do that. My little Robertson screwdriver. Did you know that the Robertson screw was invented by a Canadian, and Mr. Phillips, who invented the Phillips screwdriver, tried to buy the rights to it, and Robertson would not give. Nope, wouldn't give it up. So, Canada, I think, is the only place where you can get Robertson screws, I believe, which is pretty cool, I think. Makes us unique in a little way. So I'm just going to remove all of these before I start any work. Okay, hopefully you can see me here. If not, I guess I'll redo it. So what I have to do first before I can paint these is to clean them with some TSP. And of course this is probably completely toxic, so I've got a mask and some chemical goggles and some gloves to use. So I need to go and wet this first. So I've got that, which still fogs up my glasses, but it does have a pinch. These are totally adjustable. They're great masks. And I'll put this over my glasses. These on. Okay, how do I look? Ready to go? This is how we spend our Saturday nights during a pandemic. I guess I will just spray, oops, open, spray. My work surface is my grandmother's dining room table. So it has the vinyl cover and then cardboard, so it won't get damaged. This is pretty much the only work surface that I have. So I will just spray this and then come back in 15 minutes. Okay, we made it 15 minutes. So now I just have to wipe off the TSP and then I can start sanding. So we want to do this because we want to get off all of the dirt and grime. These cupboards are 30 plus years old. So it's gonna have some, dust ingrained on there. And then I have to sand it after it's cleaned because this is just like a vinyl veneer over top, and paint won't stick to this directly, so I need to sand it so it will have something for the paint to grip to. I'm gonna have to wait for this to dry as well before I can sand it. So this is all clean and dry now. I can do some sanding. So I need to sand it because it's quite this is just vinyl veneer on top, and this wood is quite smooth, so the paint won't stick to it as it is. So I just need to rough it up just a little bit so that the paint will stick. And I don't have a block, so I'm just kind of doing this. What a horrible sound, eh? It doesn't need to be really rough or anything. Like, I'm not sanding off this whole surface. I just need to give something for the paint to soak into. Okay, I think that's good. Now, just to give you an idea of what I'm doing and kind of how I know what I'm doing. One, my sister went to design school in college, and she gave me a lot of tips. And two, earlier last year, I also redid this. Sorry, got the tripod on and I gotta move furniture around. So this buffet unit was completely white, just like everything else that was in the condo. My mom had bought this unit in the last house that we were in. We had, she had a basement apartment in the house, and I was upstairs until she got sick, and then she moved upstairs with me. But this was in the kitchen downstairs because there wasn't much cupboards. So she bought this, but it was completely white, and I really, really dislike white. I'm gonna move this out the way. So I had to redo this whole thing as well as the dining room. So I sanded it down, I cleaned it, I sanded it down, and then painted it with melamine paint. Now I was unable to get melamine paint for the cupboard door, so I'm hoping it works with the type of paint that I bought. They assured me in the store that it would. So I had to take all of this apart. The shelves come out. I had took all of those out, and I took the doors off, and I painted, taped the windows. I still need to do some touch up here because the tape kind of took some off. But I ended up doing like I think 3 coats or 4 coats of the black, and the red I think was 3 coats as well. On the inside, I only did 2 coats. It's okay on the inside, it's not noticeable, but on the outside, I could still see white. So the top, I did black, and then just the trims, I did the red, and the inside with red. The sides are black. And then, sorry, just trying to maneuver around the tripod here. So the doors, it's kind of noisy, but it's so much nicer now with the black and the red or cranberry than it was just plain white. Plus, like it with the white, it's like all in the grime and the dust. It just showed so much, and just trying to wipe it down, you know, like dust it every now and again. It was crazy. And then I got this wine rack. This is the air heating and air conditioning intake. So when the unit is on, air goes in there. In the wintertime, I don't turn the heat on because I face south, and it is so warm in here. I had to go out today because it was just too hot and sunny. And it's wintertime, and it was like -2 outside. So I got this really cool wine rack on, I think it was like on Wish or something, but I just love the curls, and it kind of covers up that vent, and then also gives me a place to put my Berkey, and of course my bottles of wine. I've never filled it up, so like if anybody is ever wondering what to get me for a gift, some wine to stick in my wine rack would be nice. And then I moved this shelf. I used to have like one of the brown bookshelves in this corner here with all of my cooking books and my health books. But then after I painted, I moved this black one in from my bedroom. So I've got all of my paleo principles, paleo solution, all my health sort of books. And, you know, some curiosities. This was this cast iron. This is an actual cast iron stove model that was Aunt Jean's that my aunt had given to my mom. It's really, really awesome. It's very, very dusty, but I'm not sure how to clean it. I mean, I drag a duster over it, but it doesn't. It's just, you know, 100 years probably worth of dust on it. And just some collectibles down here. My mother's maiden name was Swan, so there's a few swans around the house. I love bears, so I have bears everywhere. And I used to have St. Bernard dogs. So a co-worker of mine when I used to live in North Carolina made that St. Bernard for me, which is really, really cute. And then another, when I was leaving North Carolina, another co-worker gave that to me as a going away gift. And I've got the scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz, and the ruby slippers from the witch after she was crushed by the house. That's actually a doorstop, but I never use it as a doorstop because, I don't know, it seems too pretty to stuff underneath a door. And then all of my cookbooks here. I have quite a collection of cookbooks. A lot of them I can't use anymore because since I was diagnosed with celiac disease. Anyway, so that's that. I will start the painting tomorrow. It's getting a little bit late in the evening right now, and I don't really want to get that started now. So I'll start that tomorrow morning. And I see a fingerprint on my lens. I wonder if that's going to show up in the video. I hope not, because that looks horrible. Yeah, so that's kind of the work that I've done so far. I still have so much more work to do in the condo. I probably will not even get half of the stuff done still that I would like to do before I sell it and move, because I'd like to get away from the city and away from this neighborhood if possible, and still keep my job here in the city. So that's something I'm working on, or something I'm thinking about anyway. But it really all depends on what the heck happens with this dang pandemic, which is getting kind of old. Anyway, so I'm going to start this painting tomorrow. So I still have to clean, this is the top part of the door. I still need to clean that and sand it. And I'll just dust this off with the stuff that I just scraped up. And I will see you later.